What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Demigoddess YouTube channel. If you're new, please make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video from me, as I do drop multiple times a week for you guys. We are going to go ahead and get into the Longlegs movie review. I did see it in the movie theaters. But before we get into some things, what I need you guys to do is make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I don't care if you're in here for a second, 5 minutes, or the entirety of the video. Just make sure you do that because it's free for you and it helps all content creators, no matter what content you look at. Okay, let's go ahead and get into Longlegs. I like to show you guys the trailer so you could get like a visual overview, and then I'm going to read the storyline, read the reviews, give my honest opinion, and let you guys know if I agree with what people were saying in the reviews or not. Okay, so let's get into it.
Agent,
Hold on,
Don't move.
is it scary being an FBI agent?
The letter was left with the bodies. We have 10 letters like it over the past 30 years. And all of them signed with one word: Longlegs.
He'll kill. And kill again.
Oh, there she is. You could have made nice with me, but you didn't.
Put the gun down!
And now that has led to all of this.
Okay, so the movie was 1 hour and 41 minutes. Okay, I did see it when it was released. It was released last week, I believe. So it's categorized as a crime, horror, and thriller movie. So in a pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. So let's just say the cast. I thought the cast was really good. How do I say this? Anyways, I'm just going to do my reviews as if you guys have already seen it, or I'm just going to be honest about my honest review on here. I thought Longlegs was overhyped. I think they are allegedly playing for the reviews, because I don't understand how anyone is saying this movie is terrifying. This movie was not terrifying. In my previous review where Maxine that I rated or whatever, I Googled what classifies a film or TV series, whatever, anything that entertainment field, what classifies it as horror. I definitely understand, the only thing that was really gory to me was when Nicolas Cage, he bashes his face in the police station because he is a part of the serial killer. They thought it was just one person all along, but it really was her mother and Nicolas Cage. And it didn't really explain like what was the backstory behind the killings. I mean, obviously he was worshiping the devil or a demon or whatever, and a demon entity they were doing evil doings with each other. And the mother did make a deal with the devil, so her child was not murdered like the rest of the children, and the wives were murdered. It was not scary. I did to me, I lean more, it's more towards crime and more towards mystery. I will give it that. The actress, what is her name? Let's go to her name. Malika Monroe, who played Agent Lee Harker. She did a really good job. She did really good acting too, especially for her personality in the movie was more of like someone that suffered from like PTSD, memory loss, but also social anxiety And well, not social anxiety, just awkwardness, socially awkward. She definitely displayed like what that really looks like in real life. I did like Blair Underwood, who played Agent Carter. It that kind of was, as the movie went on, you kind of figured that eventually, at least I did, he was going to be one of the victims at some point of the film or whatever. Now, what was really confusing to me, and I found some similarities in Long Legs, is that I don't know if you guys seen the movie Insidious, but the first one, which was, hold on, I'm gonna look it up because I like to Insidious. What was the characters? There was a similarity here, a reference for sure. Why am I not spelling characters right? The old woman, okay? So let me share this tab. The old woman, this lady, but it really wasn't a lady, it was a man. Especially this, when she had the veil over and everything. So apparently when they bring the doll in or whatever, the demon goes inside of the doll, I guess. But it was weird because before Nicolas Cage killed himself, the spirit, which looked like this person, except for you couldn't really see the face like that, you just saw the eyes, they were like kind of oranges red. But the black veil and everything, and the dress, you saw that. But it was similarities in the movie based off of that. So it was just really, really weird to me. I'm like, okay, are they making a reference to Insidious of some kind of way? I don't know. But I'm just letting you guys know there is definitely a similarity in this character, okay? Let's see if I could actually pull up what I am talking about on Long Legs. I don't know if they're gonna show it. They just keep, see, here you go. So this thing shows up. Very similar. Very, 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 very similar to Insidious. Sorry, I thought you guys were not listening to this anymore. Anyways, very similar. Look at this. So I'm like, what the hell is this? And then when I bought it up too, people got it right away. But I definitely think the movie is overhyped. Now, what was one thing that I will say they did give a good job? I thought that Nicolas Cage was her father because her mother was a single mother. And you didn't know anything about her dad or anything. So I thought the whole time Nicolas Cage was the father, but he wasn't the father. So their rating is a 7.3 out of 10. I think that's a bit high, but I guess. Okay, so FBI agent Lee Harker is a gifted new recruit assigned to the unsolved case of an inclusive serial killer. As the case takes complex turns, unearthing evidence of the occult, Harker discovers a personal connection to the merciless killer and must race against time to stop him before he claims the lives of another innocent family. Okay, let's read some of the reviews. So they have 474 reviews. 7 out of 10. The marketing was a blessing and a curse. Longlegs is an interesting film. It's sometimes good, sometimes scary, and sometimes laughable, goofy. I will say there was one part in the movie that I did get scared of, and it was the beginning. It was one of those like something jumping your face in the beginning of the movie. So that was the only thing that was scary to me. The marketing for the film was undoubtedly the greatest thing about it. It was so overhyped and well sold that I was convinced I'll be seeing a movie completely different than the one I just saw a few hours ago. That is exactly how I felt too. I thought this was going to be I kind of did get the vibe it was going to be some kind of sinister vibe to it, but I thought it was going to be totally different than what I saw as well. Like I said earlier, it's more like mystery crime type thing. So if you're thinking of something like Insidious, um, even Amityville horror, right? Because the demon went inside the kid and had him kill up the house and everything like that. So this isn't the film for you, okay? They definitely overhyped this. They had a huge budget on marketing. You definitely could tell because it's everywhere. The end results wasn't bad at all. It's just not the ultimate horror fright fest it was made out to be. Exactly. The critics, filmmakers, and Nicolas Cage all raved about how Cage is unrecognizable and how he gives a skin crawling performance that you wouldn't be able to tell was him. You definitely could tell that was Nicolas Cage, okay? He just has a very unique bone structure. So if you are a fan of Nicolas Cage, you would definitely know it was Nicolas Cage. And I knew it was Nicolas Cage. Okay. Um the critics will and how he gives a skin crawling performance. I think why they're saying that is because how he bashed his face into the thing and killed himself. I'm just going to break the news and say that you can definitely tell it's Cage, and he absolutely makes it a very Nicolas Cage role. He did a great job, but I really wasn't quite sure if I was supposed to find him hilarious or terrifying. It was a memorable performance, but I was way more puzzled and confused than scared. I definitely agree with this reviewer. I was confused too. I'm like, why is he bashing his face into that? Like, I don't know. That was really weird. The rest of the movie is beautifully shot, scored, and paced. The story is riddled with plot holes galore, and the twist veers into pretty silly territory. It's a good movie, but it's not the scariest film of the decade or even the whole year. Exactly. There was nothing really scary about the movie, honestly. Bro Foss advertisement, same thing. His legs were literally normal length. Honestly, though, this movie was good, but not great. Not nearly as great as the hype would lead you to believe. It is a slow burn psychological thriller horror, which borrows the souls of Silence of the Lamb and survives off the vibes. Why did I make that reference? It definitely does. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but overall, I think they could have done more to bring in a better resolution to make a film scarier, more satisfying, and overall better. I would definitely recommend watching it, but taper down the expectations of the hype before you will enjoy the film a lot more. 6 out of 10, expedition dump ending. Yep. The hype might hurt it. Okay. 8 out of 10, Cage continues his legendary versatile renaissance and what he is easily most deceptive serial killer study in maybe decades. 8 out of 10, it'll be a little bit of everywhere. Can we have an honest conversation? The last couple years, I would say the last 5, maybe even 7 years, the films that Nicolas Cage has been a part of, which is kind of crazy for me, have not been really great roles. Like the movies have come and go. I mean, obviously they're getting the hype for this, which I think is totally overrated. Um, Definitely I feel like some payola is going on, but he wasn't really doing that much in the film. He didn't really have that many lines in the film. I don't get it. I mean, he did some movie about a vampire. To me, that wasn't good. It didn't really interest me. I felt like his co-star was better and was getting more recognition. I just feel like his roles are not, he's not picking the roles for him. I don't know what's going on. I really wanted to like it more, 6.5 out of 10. Happy for Cage, but wish I liked it more. As paranoid and dark as it gets, 6 out of 10. Had so much potential, let me explain. 10 out of 10, unsettling, amazing performances. 6 out of 10, not the scariest movie of the decade. It's not. 4 out of 10, falls far short of the brilliant marketing. Exactly. 8 out of 10. Now we know how those people in dream scenario felt when Nick Cage stalked their nightmares. 8 out of 10. Amazing movie. Just one thing. Yep, it's been hyped too hard. Disturbing cinematic masterpiece. That's basically what people are saying. Um, Coming from an avid horror movie lover, I love horror. That's one of my favorite genres of all time. I mean, some of my favorite characters literally are Freddy Krueger. He's number one. He's always going to be number one. I love him because of I love the gore in it, the creativity. And I love the fact that there is a spiritual meaning behind Freddy Krueger, and people that aren't really spiritual won't get it because for you to dream, literally those kids that get killed when they dream in the Freddy Krueger films, they all astral project. They all go to another world. And being someone that is clairvoyant, I astral project and I go to other worlds too when I dream and stuff like that. And it really has a deep psychological meaning to that movie. And I don't think it gets enough credit for that. Same thing with Pinhead, Hellraiser, all the films of Hellraiser. Those are really good. Love Candyman too. I feel like they didn't do Candyman justice though, because when you really think about it, and I need to start looking at like more 70s and 80s. Well, Freddy Krueger started in the 80s too, but I need to really start looking at some of like the older horror films, because if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, but Candyman, is he the only black horror person? Is he the first horror person? Let me see. Since we're on that. And I'm talking about mainstream. This is surviving the 12 scariest black horror villains. They got Nope on here. The Tethered. They have The Hitchhiker, Creepshow, Temperance, Death by Temptation, Candyman is number 5. I don't know that other movie. I've seen this movie, but what is it? Eloise Spell 2020, Dr. Hess Green, Tales from the Hood, Mr. Sims. They even have Akasha, Queen of the Dam, Aaliyah film. They got Blackula, 1972. Jimmy Bones. This was Snoop Dogg. None of these characters, besides Candyman, is the ones that really is mainstream. Like I seen most of those I just looked up right now. But I mean, most of the horror characters like that we love, the nostalgia and everything, it's white characters. There's really not a lot of polarizing horror characters. And I don't know if we should take that as a negative thing or a positive thing. I'm not going to get into the race thing. I don't know how we should take that, but I definitely think that there should be more emphasis on black horror films or characters. Okay. Yeah, I like Hellraiser, I like Pinhead. Who doesn't like Michael Myers? Who doesn't like Jason? Now, some new ones that I do like, I did like Insidious. I like all the Insidious. I like the Conjurings, The Nun. The Ring scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and I don't know if I want to watch that now as I'm older. But The Ring, she's not talked about a lot too. That character as well. And I don't know what that. Oh, and a clown that another clown that I like as well is the Terrifier, Art the Clown. I really like Art the Clown as well. He pretty much is my baby. I don't know. It's between him and Freddie. They going toe to toe, neck to neck, neck to neck, neck to neck. You know, I haven't felt like super like intrigued or fascinated with a horror character until I've seen The Terrifier. Somebody recommended me to watch The Terrifier. And then I watched the second one and I can't wait for the third one to come out. But yeah, and there were some other clown ones. I don't remember the name of it, but I guess I could describe it to you guys. They literally were like eating people underneath the bed. This movie it had to come out. Well, I watched it in the 90s. I was a kid. All my cousins and I, we were scared. We did not like Underneath the Bed because we saw that movie. And I don't know what, every time I try to have a conversation with someone about it, they're like, I remember that movie, but I don't know the name of it. So I don't know the name of that either. But those are some of my favorite characters. So this Longlegs things, it doesn't even fall under it. I really would just classify this. This is a loose base horror movie, if you ask me. And it's not your typical horror movie. And I think people were more looking towards like some kind of psychological, more gory, weird, supernatural type of thing. I mean, there was a supernatural element in there because there was a demon, but at the same time, it just wasn't what you expected. Oh, I also like Smile as well. I like Smile as well. That is a horror film that it's very interesting. It keeps you on your toes and you're curious. I'm very curious about that demon though. I really hope this Smile 2 that they have, they go a little bit more in detail about where did this demon come from? You know, how can you really get him off? I mean, they explain what you could do to get that demon off of you, but um you're still going to pay a cost. But I would like to know more of the backstory of it. And if I'm not mistaken, the Smile is taking bits and pieces of a movie that came out in the 90s. I think Denzel Washington was in it. Denzel Washington may not have been in it, but the demon definitely have similarities to it. I don't know. But anyways, so if I had to rate Longlegs, if I'm being 100% honest, being an avid horror movie goer, okay, I would give the movie a 5 out of 10 for horror. Okay, I'm going to give it two different ratings, which is something I never do. For horror, I would give it a 5 out of 10. Definitely overhyped. I feel like it's payola going on. They lying. And, or whoever's reviewing is not an avid horror lover. Okay, simple as that. And if I was to rate it for like crime, mystery, psychological thriller, then I would give it a 10 out of 10 for that. But as far as like the horror portion, absolutely not. Child, stop playing in my face. That's how I feel. But that is my review on it. I do encourage you guys to watch it because I would really like to know your breakdown of it, how you feel about it, and everything of that sort. I would like to know that. But if y'all were thinking it was going to be something new, no. And then I have bits and pieces of Insidious in there. And then I like that reviewer's comment about Silence of the Lamb. It definitely gave that. I don't know why I didn't make that reference. Oh, and why I didn't bring up I like Saw too. I like Saw. I like Hostel. Those are some horror movies that I like as well. So yeah, I guess I'm more on the gory side. I like Leprechaun. So yeah. But anyways, I will see you guys soon. And I hope you guys like this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Peace.